There's a brand new Pokémon trading card game out on the iPhone, Pokémon TCG Pocket. But is it good? My gut reaction to this is no. There's two major points to make here, and I'm gonna play some of the gameplay of Pokémon TCG Pocket while discussing it. First, some hard truths. The Pokémon TCG gameplay has never been good. This includes the print and paper version, of course. It is a game designed for children by people who had no business balancing a card game. The weakness resistance system is awful, the power creep makes anything that isn't an EX, GX, or tag team card worthless. I could go on. I think all you need to do is look at how many channels and streams there are featuring people opening Pokemon card packs compared to how many people are playing the game. And then compare that to an actual competitive game like Magic the Gathering, again opening packs versus playing, and you'll see that the real draw of Pokemon is collecting the pieces of cardboard. Because cards have weaknesses, so many games are decided before you even shuffle. Do you have an all-electric deck and your opponent has a fighting deck? You lost, probably on turn 2 or 3. Did you draw a Zapdos DX and your opponent only has a single Pidgey? You win, great job! Pokémon TCG Pocket makes this worse by removing resistances from cards and launching with incredibly powerful EX cards right out of the gate, causing frequent situations like I mentioned. On top of that, the game allows the player to choose what type of opponent they'll face. You can self-declare yourself as an amateur or a pro, meaning a seasoned player who spent $150 on these JPEGs can match in with an 8-year-old who washes dishes every night for a month to earn a $10 Apple gift card so they can buy some Pokecoins. It just isn't fair, and it's one of the most laughably dumb decisions the devs could have made. Let's talk about the energy system for a moment. Unlike the physical version, Pocket has you assign energy to your deck, which you can then generate automatically each turn. You're no longer drawing energy cards, which in theory I like. Hearthstone, Marvel Snap, and others have shown us that there can be a lot of value in removing your mana and energy from your card count and simply letting you play a preset amount per turn. The new game Disney Lorcana takes things further by allowing you to turn most cards in your deck into energy, allowing you to stuff your deck with cards that might be good in a certain situation, but are most likely just going to be used for the mana. The problem with Pocket's energy deployment system is the random nature of energy when using dual-colored decks. Pocket decks are limited to 20 cards total. So you make a 2-colored deck with 7 Pokemon of each color and a few trainer cards. Your turn starts, you put down a green Pokemon, and you get a yellow energy. Your lean Pokemon's move can only use green, so it's a waste. Next turn, you slot a yellow Pokemon to your bench and receive another yellow energy. Okay, you can add that to your yellow benched Pokemon, but you're still stuck without energy for the one in the active slot. I know, this is a common problem with any TCG. Energy can be a real pain. But since you only gain 1 energy per turn, energy which is lost at the end of that turn if not played, you can easily put yourself into a doom spiral, where your opponent's 3rd turn has a Pikachu EX dropping 90 damage on you, and you've got nothing but a Weedle with 2 yellow energy and nothing else to show for it. In another TCG, you'd have a lot of options to deal with this. Things like finding energy via drawing cards. But, since energy has been removed from the deck, none of the usual methods of finding energy can work. Card draw can't help you. You're completely beholden to random number generators. If you have one of the super rare Pokemon that allows you to place free energy on a Pokemon, or a hyper-specific card that lets you add energy to specific Pokemon, you might be okay. But you've only got 20 cards for your deck, so you can't do much planning for that. If the game was all about the battles, I would never touch it again because they're just not very much fun. Are they pretty to watch? Sure. Good backgrounds, good sounds, yes. You tell me. I've been playing in the background. Does that look interesting to you? I played a match just this morning where I had blue and yellow energy in a deck, and I went 14 turns only receiving blue energy. And of course, every Pokemon I had needed a yellow. The only reason it got up to 14 rounds is because I had a beefy Pokemon up front, and I'm pretty sure my opponent was having the same kind of problem, because their Charmeleon that was in the active slot never got a red energy on it. Lots of blue energy on the ones in the back though. The The random nature of things can be a lot of fun for many games, but for this one, it just isn't, because everything is a little too random, and there's not enough ways to try to get around that randomness through skill. You just have to deal with whatever the opponent is going to throw at you, and once you're stuck in a path, you don't have many ways to respond and find a way to get out of it. You're just stuck. So what about the other half? Collecting cardboard is fun, right? We all remember the rush for card packs during the pandemic. It was a weird time. I myself engaged in a decent amount of pack opening and got really into laying on the couch watching people like Unlisted Leaf open up pack after pack after pack. It can be good mindless fun, and there's a real thrill when you pull a great card. A thrill that no aspect of playing the TCG actually gives a player, in my opinion. Look at that Charizard, see? That's awesome. But that's the physical game, which I should say, I was one of the very first people to play it back in the day. When it first came out, I was at my Toys R Us every single week. I was even a gym leader there, so I've got experience. But what's it like when you're collecting a pile of pixels? We all know that opening a good loot box in a video game can be a really pleasant experience. I'm sorry to say that when judging purely by the opening process, TCG Pocket really falls short, mostly because of the speed. To start, you get to select your pack with a carousel of options. Kinda cool. Then you get to slice open the pack with your finger. It's very satisfying. You flip through the pack of 5 cards, instead of the usual 10 in the IRL game, and then you have to sit through a lot of animations. Let's show them here. The cards get stacked up, which is, okay, that's cool, and then they get placed onto this, which tells you how many total you've collected. After that, you are then shown the cards again, where you have to swipe up to then send them flying towards your binder, which is basically, your collection of cards. That is kind of cool, putting them in a binder like that, like we would if it was physical. I do like that. But you're just sitting here watching this happen for a while. There's skip buttons on all this, but still, you're skipping through multiple layers of this card opening process. I was good with the first part. I saw my cards, I was happy with them. I did not need to see that every single time. And there's no way to turn that off or speed it up through quality of life settings. It is cool that there's little missions to collect things like the Viridian Forest pack, which features all the Pokemon that you would find in the Viridian Forest. And doing so will allow you to open up different rental decks that you can use in the single-player battle experience, which is, it's a single-player battle experience against a computer. It's going to be what it is. You unlock packs and cards very slow after the initial Love Bomb tutorial, which gives you a huge amount to start off with. Once you're past that phase and you're already invested, you're opening up to maybe 3 packs a day. And by the way, you can get duplicate cards, meaning at a certain point you're likely pulling 4 duplicate cards in a single snom that's brand new. Hurrah! You can use the duplicates to buy cosmetics for the card, but be honest, who wants to bedazzle their Rattata that will never go in their deck? All that said, it's pretty fun to open a card pack, and the game has potential to give that same good feel in pixel form. The only problem is, what do you do next? You can't sell the cards, so they don't have any sort of value from a collector point of view. Playing them isn't really that fun. It's just not a good TCG. There's a dozen better card games you could play. So if collecting is only sort of fun, and what you do with the collected cards isn't much fun, what reason is there to do any of it? You need a great game to make you want to buy more cards, and you need great card collecting to make justifying the money and effort worth it. These two sides, collecting and playing, should feed into each other and work hand in hand. With Pokemon TCG Pocket, you're just collecting JPEGs and then watching your hard-earned pixels get knocked out in one turn because the person across from you got a better pile of unbalanced pixels. So, is Pokemon TCG Pocket a good game? I think I've got my answer, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. In the meantime, I'll be playing Marvel Snap on my phone while doing a Hearthstone Battleground on my iPad and watching Tolarian Community College play Magic the Gathering on the TV. So, make up your own mind and let me know.